How are you guys? I want to welcome you to week number 1 of this vlog. For the maybe 10 people that were watching my shorts, maybe you guys know about it, otherwise maybe you don't. The last update I had for you guys, I was kind of having some rocky waters with the trading, but I have a new strategy that I was tweaking, and I also had gotten kicked out of my apartment. So now I'm in a brand new apartment, as you guys can see. I got a steal for this place. I absolutely love it. Has a beautiful view, absolutely beautiful view. And I installed a whiteboard over there, if you guys can see it. Look closely right there. I'll show you more up close. And then this is my bed over here. And then I have a TV over here. And then I got my bathroom over there and everything. So yeah, I really like this place. I've been here for a couple weeks now. I've just been getting together some new plans, making some new tweaks. And I'm ready to share everything with you guys. So basically what you can expect from this, you're gonna see a lot more of my strategy. You're gonna see a lot more of my life. You're gonna see a lot more of how I handle my trades, what I'm doing my day-to-day to become successful with my trading, what my job is like, everything. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. It's gonna be week number 1. I'm gonna be doing it week by week. You guys are gonna be seeing every trade I make, all of my trading days, the highlights of my days, what I'm doing differently, and so on and so forth. So yeah, stay tuned. And just one more thing that I want to add on, this is still the road to 100K. So we're still on day maybe I think 100 and something right now, but I'm still planning to hit 100K, and together we will hit 100K. So you're gonna see every bit of the process now, and I'm gonna be very committed to making these vlogs for you guys and for myself. So let's go on to day number 1. So just to give you guys an idea of what my strategy is like, I want to show you what it's based off of. So this is our progress for the month of July. So as you guys can see, a $254 profit and a total of 225% gain and a 67% win rate. So what I really quickly just want to get out the way is right now I'm not trading with a large amount of money. I want to go ahead and trade with a small amount of money. And then as soon as I realize that my trade strategy is successful, then I'm going to go ahead and quadruple down. Go with 1,000 and then go with 5,000, 10,000, so on and so forth. But I want to start slow and build up from there. And then as you guys can see in week number 2, we took a small $22 loss, total of a 22% loss on the week and a 29% win rate. And the notes that I had here is what I realized, okay, I'll start an overtrade, as you guys can see over here. And that's what costed me at the end of the week. And then for week number 3, $87 down, 44% loss and a 50% win rate. But the only reason why I lost this week was because I was buying 1 week out instead of 2 weeks out. So that's why you guys can see the bigger losses on this week as opposed to the other week. And then finally, in the last week, I feel like I skipped a week. Oh, no. I think I started week 1, week 2. No, I didn't skip a week. Okay, week number 4, we ended off with a negative $39 loss and a 100% gain and a 40% win rate. So you might be thinking, with that kind of gain and that kind of win rate, how come I lost $39? The only reason is because this $200 trade, I decided for whatever reason to go small because I kept losing. So all in all, I took from that, okay, maybe I need to make a couple of changes. And if I could just make the small tweaks, then my trade strategy would become successful. So then in August, I attempted something else. And I did the complete wrong thing that I probably should not have done. And that's, instead of doing what was making my strategy so successful, which was holding until the next day, I decided to sell same day. And my hypothesis just wasn't correct. I ended up losing a lot on this one. So it just ended up not working out. I even just called it quits on week number 3 because it just wasn't seeing the potential that I wanted to see it. And now what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna just be implementing the notes that I wrote over here. So we're gonna be doing the same exact strategy. The only difference is we're gonna be only doing 2 week out options instead of 1 week out options. And we're gonna have a same day sell price, meaning if an option hits the level that I want it to hit the same day, I will sell that same day no matter how much I can make the next day. And then in addition to that, I'm also gonna be keeping note of the amount of trades that I make. So try to aim for no more than 3 trades a week. But obviously there's gonna be some weeks where I wanna trade more than 3 times, and there's gonna be some weeks where I wanna trade less. So those are gonna be the tweaks that I'm gonna be making going into this month. So let's see how that goes. And just to clarify, I just wanna show you the notes that I made for you guys over here. I literally spent a lot of time writing this down, figuring out what's gonna work, what's not gonna work. And I came up with basically this strategy. So I was able to quantify the strategy that I made in July, and now it's gonna be ready for the rest of August and going into September. So basically, here's the setup. I'm basically aiming to ride the momentum of opportunistic setups, focusing on pullbacks and triangle patterns with support and resistance. So these are the steps. Step number 1, use trading intuition to identify a good trade. So basically when I'm scanning for trade, does it look good? That's gonna be the first thing. That's usually my biggest indicator of success. And then step number 2, can I confirm the trade by checking the pattern across multiple time frames? Basically confirming the initial intuition. And then step number 3, fully chart out all support and resistance levels along with the pattern. And then step number 4, oh, well, I guess I wrote step number 3 twice. But step number 4, check the risk reward using the options profit calculator. So then step number 5, using all the data, create a very generous stop loss that 99% confirms a pattern break. This is just to ensure that I don't sell prematurely. And I'm also keeping proper risk reward. So then step number 5, using the data, set an intelligent and realistic buy-in. So making sure I always buy in at the price that I want to buy in. And then step number 6, using the key data, create key levels at which to take profit for the same day and for the rest of the trade expectancy. So usually that's only going to be a day. And then step number 7, visualize the trade panning out in alternative ways. And if I feel comfortable with the way that they could potentially pan out, then I'm clear to trade. So basically, I'm just gonna be looking for pullback patterns and triangles. And then ignore this. This is like a little bit more nuanced, but this is my confidence scale. So basically, number 1 is just a gamble. 1 out of 5 is just a gamble. Number 2 is basically trading only with trading intuition. Like, oh, this looks good, buy it. This looks good, sell it, or whatever. So then number 3 is basically doing that, the intuition plus patterns. Number 4 is intuitions plus patterns and a full complete chart out and buying at my price. And then number 5 is basically intuitions, patterns, full chart out, bought at my price, and having a high level of confidence that it's gonna play out the way that I want it to. So by doing all of that, I should be able to see a proper performance. So despite all the mistakes that I made in July, we still came out on top with a total gain of 251%, a 46% win rate, and 106% profit, $106 profit. So all in all, pretty good. Like all in all, is definitely really good. So we're gonna go ahead and see how this pans out for the rest of the week, and we'll update you guys at the end of the week. So I'm at work right now, you guys, and I just made my first trade of the week. So right here, you guys can see this blue line. Let me let it focus. So this right here is exactly where I bought in. So I bought in about right here on this side. And then I put my stop loss here. So basically, once it hits this red line, then I'll go ahead and sell. And I'm thinking, based off the lines that I drew and all the momentum and everything, if the trade is successful, if it goes up to here today, I'll go ahead and sell today. Otherwise, tomorrow, I'll sell in between this range and this range up here. But as of right now, it doesn't look like the trade is going my way. And I think the biggest problem I made with this trade is I didn't really have like a clear-cut pattern. So if you guys look at the 30-minute, it's like it's not really clear what's going on here. And looking back at it, I mean, I don't know if I should have traded it. I would just say it wasn't that clear. So let's see how this goes. If I end up selling, I'll go ahead and record it for you guys. Otherwise, we'll wait until tomorrow to see what happens. But yeah, that's my first trade of the day. So as you guys can see, this is the Amazon trade that I made for today. I saw that it looked like it was going up. Like this is pretty much where I saw it. I was like, okay, pulled back, it's gonna come back around. So the blue line is where I bought in at. And then obviously it didn't really go my way. It started going down and I took a small 5% loss. Not a big deal, it is what it is. And you guys can see the stop loss right there. But then later in the day, I saw a great opportunity for a Boeing trade. So again, here's my blue line. I bought in down below over here at the blue line. And then it started skyrocketing, hit my price, sold out for a good about 20-25%-ish. And I haven't had time to actually log the trades yet, so I'm gonna have to finish up work a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and log the trades. But so far this week, we're doing pretty well. And just an update on the AMD trade that I made. It looks like NVIDIA's earnings, they weren't a miss, but it kind of like didn't fully meet the expectations. So as you guys can see, like AMD kind of took a dive and then it recovered and then it took another dive and then it recovered. So we'll see what ends up happening tomorrow. But even if tomorrow we only end up at 158-ish, I mean, that's still a good 150% on that trade. So let's see what happens. But otherwise, our performance for the week is doing pretty well. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I finished up my work for the day, and overall it was good trading day. Overall, I think we ended up like, I want to say 15%, because I took a 5% loss on Amazon, and then I made 20% on Boeing today. So overall it was decent. We didn't lose, so that's always a good thing. And work felt pretty easy, so I just came here to chill for a little bit. This is my spot that I like to come to whenever I can. I haven't been able to come here in a while, but yeah, I'm just chilling, and let's see what happens tomorrow. What's up, guys? Right now I'm driving to work, and I made a mistake today. I'm not gonna lie. I woke up a little earlier than I usually do, and I usually have a rule where I don't trade until after 8 in the morning. And the reason why I don't trade until after 8 in the morning is because I want to see like a clear picture of what's going on in the market before I make any trades. And today I woke up at 6, and then I started trading at 6:30. I saw a trade that I liked. It was kind of like a Hail Mary play. I bought QQQ to go to 580, and I got it at 11 cents per contract. I got 5 of them. Luckily, I only got a small amount, but I mean, as you guys can see, the market started going down at that time of the day, and I lost about $35. Nothing big, but it wasn't a gain. And that small loss just put me back over the edge to being negative this week. Not negative a lot, but enough to make a little bit of a difference. So all in all, I would say this week we traded pretty well. I wouldn't say I did anything particularly bad, except this one trade. This one trade just never should have happened in the first place. But hey, you live and you learn. Things happen. It is what it is. I'm going to get better from it. I'm going to learn from it. And next week, I think I'm going to have a lot more confidence in my trade. I'm going to have a lot more confidence in my strategy. And I believe next week will be a better week, just based off how well I did at following my strategy and following my setup this week. And yeah, I had one little slip up, but guess what? If that one little slip up affects my entire month, then I'm not trading good. You know what I mean? Straight up. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what happens next week. I'll share a little bit of what goes on this weekend for me, and I'll see if I can post this up on Monday. And yeah, see you soon. The thing I kind of just want to talk about and touch on a little bit is just the importance of following your strategy no matter what. So earlier in the year when I started this journey, again, for those of you who didn't watch my shorts, like earlier in the year when I started this strategy, I was doing well. I was hitting like 100% multiple times a week, every single week, for a total of, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months. And I hit 1 month where my trading just wasn't going my way. And that was around the time where Trump started putting all these tariffs and everything. So of course, a lot of people were losing money. It wasn't just me. But I quit. Like immediately I was like, okay, my strategy doesn't work because I lost so much in 1 month. I had no green weeks in that 1 month. You know what I mean? So immediately I lost confidence in my strategy. And because I lost confidence in my strategy, I stopped doing that strategy, and I started finding other strategies to supplement the strategy that I was already using to try to make my money back. When in reality, what I should have done from the very beginning was to keep going with my strategy, maybe pulling it back a little bit, maybe being aware of, hey, these market conditions just aren't good right now. I need to chill out. I need to take a step back, and I need to go from there, but instead I quit on it and I started looking for other strategies to make me money. That was the last thing I should have been doing. But guess what? I am so grateful that I did do that, because the one thing that I was looking for in my strategy earlier in the year that I couldn't find is I wanted to find a way how to quantify it. I was basically relying on trading intuition and just basic support and resistance lines. Like, okay, this looks like it's going to go up, and if it goes up, it should likely hit this resistance, or it's likely going to go down, and if it goes down, it'll likely hit this level of support. So it was working. Listen, it was working, and I had a good system in place until, that 1 month. But by going through all that, and by looking for more strategies, by really being more meticulous with my trading, I started to really figure out what was so successful about that strategy, why that strategy was so successful, like what were the inner workings of that strategy. And now that I know a lot more about it and a lot more about what made it so successful, I was able to take all of those lessons, and now I'm using the same strategy that I was using back in January, February, March, and December, but in such more of an intelligent way. You know, it's just crazy. Like, it is truly the evolved version of what I was using back then. And that's why I'm going to stick with it. It's something that I love trading with. I love this system. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love to trade it. It feels like me. It fits my personality so well. It feels good. It feels right. You know, I tried doing day trading. I thought, oh, maybe I'll have a little bit more control over my trades. I can control my stop losses a little bit more. I can control my take profits a little bit more. I can control the patterns a little bit more. It wasn't my style. But the things